ladies and gentlemen, the Xander Insurance Countdown to Friday. B-Hop and Mo, you know where we are. It's Prep Rewind with Michael Coleman, former Boston Red Sox, Yankee, and of course Stratford Spartan in the house.
Oh yeah.
How about this? We're down here at this beautiful indoor baseball complex called M3 Training. And do I ask you what M3 means, or just some secret code to it?
A lot of people don't know until I tell them.
Okay, so what is that?
It's Michael, Michaela, my 17-year-old senior at Ezel, and my 7th grader at Mill Creek. So those are the 3 M's.
Look at you.
Yeah, man.
So before we get this thing started, very rarely does football lose out to baseball.
Rarely.
You had cats from Alabama. You had people from all over the SEC trying to recruit you to play
He
football.
was signed with Alabama.
Yeah.
Why did you choose the stick? What happened? Not that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying.
Them dollar signs happened. That's exactly what happened with the situation I was in with my grandmother raising me. That was the fastest route and safest route for me to go. Grandmother was sick at the time. She raised me from childhood up. Had to do something immediately to get some funds going in that direction, and that's what worked out for me.
It's kind of funny how, Mo, we talk to so many kids that actually that issue is something that kind of steers them a little bit. I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing. It's like, but the kids sometimes they take on almost the pressures of the parent. You know what I mean? Trying to better their life situations, and it obviously has an effect sometimes. But it did work out for you. Obviously,
It worked out. I actually signed with Boston. First year struggled really bad. I hit like $150. I mean, that's the first time I failed at anything. Came back home, met with Coach Oakley, Bama people. Stallings was still in the fold there, and decided, you know what, I'm gonna stick this out. Went back to Florida, Fort Myers, and 2 years later I was in the good place. I didn't have a reason to look back again. I got focused on what I was doing and knew I could advance, and lo and behold, 2 years later I was in Finland.
Amen.
Now you said you didn't have a reason to look back, but now that it's all over, what does that looking back look like? When you see the contracts that are coming through the NFL and that kind of thing. I mean,
well, I do know MLB is guaranteed. I do know that.
Touche.
Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah.
And it's got me looking at football players in a different light now, and I see why they hold out. With I understand now, and the signing bonus, and people don't know that. Ain't but a few sports that are fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
And that's one of them. As soon as you sign it, it's it. No matter what happens to you, you get paid.
Looking at the situation surrounding pro sports, you know, where they're trying to keep their athletes healthy in the football world, do you think obviously that was the right decision for you, given the atmosphere that we're talking about football nowadays?
When I had to make a decision what side of the ball I was going to play at Bama, and at that time I got tired of getting hit, but I loved hitting people. Kind of backwards, didn't make sense, but I just got tired of getting hit, but I would hit you. And I was going to Bama to play defensive back. I think Sean Alexander was there, and Bama had just come off the Miami National Championship game. My mind was set from running the ball to knocking somebody out.
did you feel like you were going to be more of a corner or more of a safety at the time?
I wasn't this big then. I was playing corner.
You are kind of
yeah. I was. I felt like I had lockdown ability back then. I could lock one side down. I had Fernando Brown on the other side, who Riverdale played several years in the league. Do I think I'd have made it to the NFL? Absolutely. But I chose to go another route.
So what did all the Maurice Pattons back in the day say to you when you had this conundrum of football and baseball? You said, I'm going to do baseball. They were like, hey, what's up with the SEC
Hey man, I had a
football?
lot of detractors, had a lot of haters back then. Bama fans, and it got ugly for a minute. It got to a point where I said, screw it, I'm going to do me, and I'm going to be happy, and that's what I did.
That's what you got to do.
At the end of the
That's what
day.
you would tell any kid at this point
Yes.
facing that same
I
decision.
got a lot of kids every year faced with, do I do this or do that? Everybody's situation is different. Mine was totally different. So to come from where I came from in East Nashville in the projects, it was one way I was going.
Okay, so Michael, people say it's harder to just kind of walk onto a diamond or a baseball field and just pick up the sport because of all the little nuances and things that come along with, being familiar with the sport itself, compared to speaking like baseball and football or basketball and football. I mean, would you agree with that, of being a guy that's played both sports?
It's really tough to just walk on the field and I can do this because I'm athletic. This ain't the sport that you can do that with. Does it help that you played from 5, 6, 7 all the way up? Absolutely. Especially for me when I'm trying to teach a kid something from ground up and he has no base, no foundation, no nothing. And it's tough for me to try to figure out where I can start with him. It's just to the point where, you know what, let's just start here and see how this goes, but really not knowing how far can I push him before he just says, you know what, this ain't for me.
Right.
It's tough. This is not the easiest thing to do. Well, everybody don't do it because you do have a lot of dads that think they can do it. I'm here for a reason, and I do believe God gave me a gift after plan of reaching a child. And that's a good saying on the wall right there. That God-given, heart-driven. And you've got to have it right here to come in here and want to be able to learn something and be broken down without feeling like somebody's stepping all over.
Right.
And I use my pro kids as an example. They're no different than you. They get frustrated. They get PO'd. But they suck it up and let's keep working. There is an answer for what you're doing wrong. Now let's just fix it. So everybody's got different opinions. Do I believe you can step on the field at 15? Some can, but the majority cannot. It is not that easy. It's really tough to do.
Quick follow-up. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to ask him basically about the percentage of minorities, particularly inner city kids, that are not playing baseball anymore. Why do you think that is?
Believe it or not, man, a couple years ago we had this same talk, me and Tim Corbin at Vanderbilt, that baseball just isn't cool. And it's hard trying to compete with MJ and the Jordans and the swag they got and the baggy pants. Baseball ain't that at all. You got a uniform on, jersey tucked in and all of that, and that just wasn't getting it for a lot of kids in the inner city. So you got to actually get them and show them that this game is actually fun. And the game is fun once you learn the game. You can't just hit a ball and just start running around the base without stopping. That's what you get when you go to a lot of these inner city games and whatnot. And we had this talk the other night. It would be hard pressed for me to go into an inner city and play them with my team because I know the result. It's going to be really tough for, you would purposely not run the score up. But they're just not mentally, athlete for athlete, oh, they're right there with us. For sure. Not, no doubt, no question. But when that game starts and there are actually rules involved in this, that's where coaches like myself take precedence over any kind of athlete that you got.
Past the fun aspect of it, though, and the cool aspect of it, has baseball kind of priced itself out of certain groups?
Well, I'll say this. Dads, you got a child and he's got that ability to get to the next level. Ultimately, we want our kids going to college, getting an education. You know doggone well you can't keep him in such and such league because he's not going to get any better. His mental has so far past that he's going to be stuck there. He's actually going to get worse by playing in that type of league. So you have to fork out X, Y, Z to get him on a level where other kids are better than him. Not just at his level, they're better than him, that gives him something to strive for. And that's why we do what we do.
So, Michael, if someone has a child that they need to get in here, how do they do that?
Pick up the phone. 615-474-4336. Michael Coleman. Hey, easy to talk to. Just a matter of you making a phone call or text message. If I don't respond, I'm in here with another kid trying to get them better. Just a matter of you getting over here so I can see your child. Once I see him, I'll take care of the rest. And you'll know why M3 is why they are. I mean, it's simple. You make the drive, I'll do the rest. And once we get that started, it's smooth sailing from there.
How about that? That's words of advice from a former big leaguer right there. Michael Coleman, ladies and gentlemen, cool enough to give us some of his time here on Prep Rewind. That's going to do it for another edition of Xander Insurance's Countdown to Friday. From OP, I'm B-Hop. We'll see you next time.
You know what? Michael Coleman kind of coaches baseball like a safety. You know, he's got that kind of
aggressively.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what I mean. Like you said, it's not going to be the smooth process at the very beginning, but once you buy in and commit, and I think that it's great to have guys that have gone on to the next level give back and kind of give some instruction like that, because a guy that's that accomplished, he gets the kids' attention and hopefully they'll listen to what he's saying.
I think it's really cool, and what's really cool about it is not everybody that has done it can coach it. So guys like Michael who can and are moved to do so, I give big props to him.
Absolutely. Remember the last time he said he saw you were out there having a conversation with Mookie Betts at his academy, am I right?
Yeah. I went out there and caught up with Mookie before he went off to spring training a couple of years ago, and what he's done over the last 2 years has just really been fun to watch. We got to get him on the show once he wraps up what he's doing right now.
Absolutely. You talk about the Jalen Hurds and the Derek Barnetts and all these guys. Well, how about the baseball players? Mookie Betts and Michael Coleman's
all over the place.
They are too.
Absolutely. Yeah, Nashville is doing a really great job of putting kids, well, not even kids, but young men at that next level, and it's really fun to see.
Yeah, and those that actually commit to giving back to the community can help other kids do the same thing that they did. Hey, listen, Maurice and I got a break, and we've got to come back to wrap up the show, talk about a few more games. We'll stick around, more from the Zander Insurance Countdown to Friday, final 7 minutes. When we come back, stick around.